Hi, welcome to PH2 Tech and Thoughts. Today, I want to show you my 2021 desk setup as an IT manager. The monitor is a Lenovo ThinkVision P44W-10. It's a 43.4 inches curved monitor. It has a resolution of 3840 by 1200, which is huge. It has one USB 3.1 upstream port and three USB 3.1 downstream ports. Those two ports are in front, along with a 3.5mm audio jack. It has two HDMI input and two USB-C input that can also give out 90 watt of output power. That 90 watt can also be split between the two USB-C. It also supports picture-in-picture. As an IT director, I don't really need all that screen estate. I spend most of my day in the office suite or in Zoom or Teams meeting. I'm no developer nor programmer, but I gotta say it's really nice to have all those applications open side by side. The base of the monitor has height adjustment. It can swivel left and right and tilt forward and backward. But on my case, I put it on a monitor arm. I wanted that floating look. To create that floating look, I had to hook that monitor to a monitor arm. I got a cheap Vivo Amazon arm. The arm was made for 13 to 27 inch monitor, but can also hold 22 pounds. As the one we have here is 21 pounds, I said, let's try it. And it works great. Like I said before, I spend most of my day in Teams meeting, so I needed a nice camera. When the pandemic hit, those were nowhere to be found. So I converted an old white security camera, but my colleagues were always making fun of the fishbowl look it produced. After all, I found a camera on the shelves at the office. It's a AverMedia Livestreamer 313 with a 1080p resolution. It has a built-in mic and a built-in shutter for privacy. To help with the lighting, I got myself a LED light panel. I hooked it behind the monitor with a flexible arm. It gives a more natural look to my presentations. It is USB powered. Since I have many USB devices connected behind the monitor, I also added a USB hub. I use double-sided tape to make it stick behind the monitor so I can hide the cables. As for sound, I got myself a pair of Logitech MX sound speakers. They're Bluetooth or auxiliary stereo port connected. As you can see, I like the space gray color and it fits my setup perfectly. For less than $100 when I got them, they look great. Lately, I also added a Cardioid Mic to my setup. Yes, I have the mic on the webcam, but the sound is so much better with this one. It's a cheap Maono AUPM 422 from Amazon. It's USB connected and comes with its own boom arm. I think they make a USB-C version now of this mic. The quality of the sound is way better in my meetings now, especially with the fact that I can bring the mic on top and in front of my mechanical keyboard. Obviously, mechanical keyboard makes sound, especially when you take notes while you're in a meeting. Speaking of the keyboard, it's a Keychron K4 mechanical keyboards with bronze switches. I got the K4 because of the numpad. Like I said, I'm an IT manager, spend a lot of time in budget, Excel sheet, and I need those numpad. The sound is very satisfying, and those mechanical keyboard reminds me of the old days. I have two major complaints about this keyboard. The first one is the wake up time. It's crazy the time it takes to wake up. Every time I come back and I need to unlock my screen, the keyboard went to sleep. And I have to enter my password more than once because I'm not patient enough to wait for it to be wake up. The second complaint is the height of the keyboard. It can be a little on the high side. You can use a palm rest, but I'm not a fan of those. If height is important for you, maybe look at the K1 or K3 low profile keyboards. As for my mouse, I now caved in. I have the MX Master 3 mouse. I got the Mac version, especially for the space gray look. I gotta say, everyone is praising that mouse on the internet. They're right. It's precise, it's ergonomic, it's very comfortable. I have nothing to complain about it. I have to say, I never thought about mouse too much before. I got so many of them. I got a Magic Mouse, I got the Logitech trackball, I use the Apple trackpad. I even used a Surface Arc mouse for a while. Now it's only in my bag because it's really easy to carry around. There's so many customization on this mouse, it's crazy. For myself, the main one I use is that side wheel is to control my volume. Especially when I'm listening to music and I have a call coming in, I can shut down that music pretty quickly. Getting to my computers now. As an IT director for a larger corporation, I'm a Windows user by day and Apple Mac by night. Those computers stand on a Mosiso stand that I got from Amazon in space gray. Keyboard, mouse, speakers are all Bluetooth and can connect to multiple devices, which is great. Everything else that is USB is connected to that little hub I was talking about behind the monitor, and this one is connected to the monitor, and from there I can select which source of USB goes to which USB-C port. So on that first USB-C cable, I have my Lenovo X1 Fold. I gotta say, it's an R&D exercise. It's a great little computer with its flaws. I'll talk about them in a proper review of that little laptop in my future videos. The main feature of this computer is the 13.3 foldable touch monitor. It has an Intel Core i5 1.4 GHz with 8 gigs of RAM and 256 gig of SSD. Like many of those modeled computers, there's only 2 ports on it, 2 USB-C ports. My personal computer is a 2017 MacBook 12-inch in space gray. It has 16 gig of RAM and 256 gig of SSD. It's a 1.3 GHz Core i5 computer. I know this computer didn't last long in the Apple lineup, but it deserves my love. It's really compact, lightweight for travel, and it does what I need. Like I said, I'm an IT director. I could do everything on the iPad if I wanted to. But let's face it, I like the computer. The main drawback of this computer, one USB-C port. You need extensions or adapters. At one end of the desk, there's also a Google Nest Hub. Right now, it's either an alarm clock or a Spotify speaker. It can also control my wife's cameras or some of my smart home devices. On the desk, I have a few accessories. The first one is my Anker wireless stand charger. I like the form factor of this charger since my phone can sit standing and I can see the notification while I'm working. As you can see, my iPhone is an XR model in red product. Not the latest, but it's doing what it needs to do for me. Next to it is a space gray Airpod Charger. Those are first gen AirPod, I'll come back to them later. The thread-free IKEA is for controlling a strip of light behind the desk and a desk lamp behind me. It's connected to my SmartThing device that controls most of my smart home devices. Since I still use paper, I have my pencil holder in space gray. I recently added the desk mat to protect the desk. I got it on Etsy and it's in gray wool. Because of the wool, the mouse was not working as smooth as before, so I got that Serachi aluminum mouse pad. It's not that great because of the sound it makes with the mouse moving on it, but I love the look of it. Under the desk, I have a dual hanger for headphones. The first headphones are my Beats Studio 3 wireless. They'd say they saw some action. They're made of cheap plastic that cracked everywhere when I was folding them down to put in their case. They're a little on the heavy side, but I like the sound of it and they're comfortable. The noise cancelling is also very good when I need to isolate myself to be more productive. Next to it is my favorite piece of tech these days. Those are the AfterShokz OpenMove headphones. They're not over the head, they're not in here, they're bone conductor headphones. They sit in front of your ear and let you hear the ambient sound. Those are great for running. The sound quality is not that good for music, as when there's a lot of bass you feel it in your temple, but for podcasts or radio, they're perfect. For running, it's really good to hear everything else happening around you, so it's good for your safety. I gotta say that when it's windy or when there's a big truck passing around, sometimes I lose a little bit of my podcast, but it's the price to pay. I got those headphones when I was looking for a replacement for my first gen AirPods. The first gen AirPods was great for me because I don't like those earplugs that everyone else is doing, even Apple with their new AirPod Pro. When I use in-ear headphone, I like to hear everything else that's going on around. If I need to be productive, I use the overhead headphones. So for the desk itself, like many of you already know, it's a Karlby kitchen countertop in oak. The Karlby is really good because of its size and thickness. So it's 6 feet long and 25 inch deep, but it's also 1.5 inch thick. That thickness lets you put that monitor arm. Because of the strength of a kitchen countertop, it can hold my monitor easily. I got the legs for the sit-stand desk from a local company called PrimeCables. I got them in white to match the rest of the office. Those legs come with 3 memories. There's 2 motors to bring them up and down, and there's also cable management tray under it. The chair is also from a local supplier called Rouillard. It's the Lead version. It's really ergonomic. Everything can move from the armrest to the lumbar support, up, down the seats. It's really great. When I first got it in 2013, it was all white. The look of the office was all white at the time. Since working a lot more from home, the seat was a little wear down. I got the seat recovered with a fake leather for motorcycle bench. I chose a light gray to match the armrests and also some space gray in my office. For those of you who wonder, on the wall, I have 3 Displate. The first one is a computer geek joke with "There's no place like home." The second one is a reminder of my young days. I was a Space Lego fan and a Star Wars fan. This one combines both. For those of you who remember the Lego Space series, this was their logo, and it was adapted with the Death Stars and the Millennium Falcon. The last one, a quote from Friends, one of my favorite comedy shows. On the left side of my desk, I have the family house rules. They're in French, my native language, but you can find that English decal a lot of place on the web. On the other side of the desk is the door to the office. On it, I stick a glass tabletop that I can use as a whiteboard. So guys, that's it for today. Hope you enjoy it. If you have any question on how I use that tech or on the tech itself, please don't hesitate to comment down below. I'll also link everything that I can in the description. Thank you and see you next time.